Welcome to the 6'4" Sixers podcast. I am your host, Creek. And on the 6 for Sixers podcast, we break down all things Sixers in 6 points. And we break down games, we break down news, we break down all issues and all Sixer related items. If you dig the content here, please like, share, subscribe, comment below, agree, disagree. The Sixers, this gets more difficult every night. Massive loss again, this time to the Golden State Warriors again. We just played them a few games ago in Golden State. Took a loss, and tonight took a loss 127 to 104. It's difficult, and it's hard to even think of good points for the Sixers. And I'm tired of the we're shorthanded excuse. We cannot use that excuse every night, especially in games where we appear to have a chance to win and just don't pull it out for whatever reason. So I'm going to go through my 6 points that I think are the factors to tonight's loss. And I'm going to do it really quick because I'm tired of some of the points are repeating themselves every night, and that gets tiring. So here we go. Point number one, the effort was terrible. Third game in a row. This is the third game we've lost in a row. And it hasn't been always, in my opinion, because the teams are that much better, but that we are just lacking effort. And we turn the ball over, getting stripped of the ball, getting blocked. Other teams going down the court, just making layup after layup, fast breaking, dunking on us, all kind of craziness. And a lot of that is just effort. I do see Pat Bev continuing to show the same aggression, the same effort. But team-wide, I don't see players making a great effort to really hustle and to really make things happen. And with Embiid out, going to need a lot more effort from everybody. I need people to step up and rally and actually believe that they can win. They do not look like they believe they can win. We beat Utah a couple games ago, and it looked pretty good. We really appeared to look like a team that was gelling and coming together, and that's just simply because they played hard. They didn't play hard tonight, and that was evident from watching it, and that was on both ends of the floor. It just looked weak. The offensive effort was weak, and it's the NBA. So you go to the rim, you go to the basket weak, and you are not going to be successful at the basket. You're going after loose balls, and they're coming down the lane. A couple times, Draymond Green, Kuminga, and I mean Wiggins had a great night, and we just had no answers. So the first point is just effort was lacking, was just horrible. It looked like a team that had given up. The point number two is these last couple games that we've lost, and we've lost 7 out of the last 8. We have started the game pretty well. Seems like we were tonight within 3 points, down by 3 at the end of the first half. And then in the third quarter, the Warriors went crazy. Now, some of that was through the Warriors didn't shoot well in the first half, but still, you can't go down. Third quarter, we got outscored 43 to 23. And that basically was the ball game because the fourth quarter was even, I think 36 to 36. Part of that is because it's basically garbage time and the Warriors just kind of, teams lose their defensive intensity when you're up by 20. So it's been a tale of halves. First half, we have been very close to teams. And then the second half, those teams just take over. A lot of that also could be due to one of my points in my earlier podcast episodes was that those bench players are not used to playing starter minutes and they're being asked to play starter minutes. So it appears that in the second half, there's a massive letdown. And a lot of that is just guys that are used to playing 15, 20 minutes a game are now being asked to play 30 and above. And they just get tired, fatigue sets in. So, second point was just tale of two halves. First half was not bad. It gave us hope. Second half, particularly the third quarter, the game was over. Number three, and this hurts me to say, but Tyrese Maxey is just not going to be a number one player at this point in his career. I've heard buzzings saying, well, we could build around him, or let's start drafting it. Let's trade off the team, start over and build around Maxey. And Maxey's an all-star, and he's probably going to get a max amount of dollars in his negotiation of his new contract, and he without a doubt deserves that. We've seen a lot of comparisons online about his numbers, averaging his averages line up with Allen Iverson, almost point for point, assist for assist. However, I made this point online on Facebook, on the Facebook page, that he has not matched up with Iverson in leadership, and he is not a number one. Iverson was a number one guy who could carry the team on his back, and everybody's following him. Maxey is just not that type of player right now. We hope he can develop into that type of player, but right now he is a solid number two guy, but he does need someone else to really carry the heavy lifting. That is Joel Embiid. Last season it was Joel and James Harden, and that would allow Tyrese to kind of get off in his game. He is not that type of player without a dominant player on the floor when it's all on him. One night he'll give you 30 or 51 a few nights ago, and then tonight 12 points. And you need consistency. I'd rather him skip the 51, just give me 25 per night. And then some nights 30. But the 51 and then 12 and 19 and those totals are just not worthy of a number one player day in and day out. He's not a go-to type of guy. So it's just we're gonna have to face that fact right now. He gets better every season, I have no doubt. And his motto is like, get 1% better. He has done that. He's gotten better. He's going to the left a lot more than he was, but not a number one player. So that's my point number two. That's point number three. That's pretty obvious at this point. Number four, overall team consistency has been terrible. You never know what you're going to get that night in and night out. You just don't know what you're going to get tonight. Oubre had 11 points. Harris had 13 points. Sometimes Harris will give you 30. Sometimes he'll give you less than 20. Sometimes he'll give you just barely over 10. Oubre will give you 17 some days, and then Oubre can give you 9 or 8 or below 10. You just don't know, and there's no consistency with the scoring effort on the team. I felt like when Embiid, and with a lot of these guys injured, these are opportunities for Reed, Bamba, Oubre to really display what you can do. KJ Martin, this is your opportunity. And I know those guys, particularly Bamba, complain about not getting time or this not being a great opportunity for it, that he didn't have. He's not having a great opportunity. This is what he was saying in the beginning of the season. Well, now you do, and you got to make the most of it. Bamba didn't score any points tonight. So team consistency has been horrific. We don't really know who's going to be that guy night in and night out and who's going to score what. It's just kind of a toss-up. Number 5, Reed and Bamba are not true bigs in this league. They're more of like flex centers, but flex centers that really don't display the like Karl Anthony Towns. He's a flex guy, but he can shoot the 3. He can shoot the mid-range. So he can move around the floor. Neither Bamba or Reed has proven that they can do either at a high percentage. So them moving around the floor like that creates a liability defensively in the lane and even offensively, rebounding, offensive rebounds, and defensive rebounds. They just have not stayed put in the paint enough to really rim protect. So we're seeing a lot of teams just making layups wide open. There's no intimidation going to the basket, and there's no hesitation going to the basket. There's no shot alteration or anything. And that's because Bamba and Reed are just not true bigs. So the call has become for the Sixers as the trade deadline approaches tomorrow to make a move for Andre Drummond, potentially type of player who is a true big, who will stay home in the paint, who lives in the paint, rebounding, blocking shots, defending, and is highly athletic. I thought we should have gotten Drummond back a couple years ago when the Nets when the Nets season was over and he was a free agent, and then Chicago signed him. We had opportunity then, and I think we missed that opportunity. We still had opportunity to get him back because Chicago apparently is open to trading him. However, I don't know. We'll see tomorrow what happens. And point number 6, Joel Embiid had a successful surgical procedure on his left meniscus injury. So that's good news. Thank you to all the doctors and all the decision makers that he had a successful surgery. The Sixers plan to reevaluate him in 4 weeks just to see where he is and just to see if he might be potentially ready for the playoffs. I err on the side of caution and the longevity of the player, not really on this season. I'd rather him be truly healthy than for him to come back in the playoffs only to re-injure himself or to aggravate it further, just sit the season out. But I'm not a doctor, and we'll see what the doctors have to say about that. If the doctors feel like he can go and he feels like physically he can go, that would be great. Other than that, Joel Embiid, and he probably won't see this podcast, but don't listen to the fans. Don't listen to yourself, listen to your body. And don't worry about the team so much to put your career at risk long term, regardless of where you end up. We want to see you healthy, opposed to just thinking about our season. Those are my 6 points. I do want to shout out our youngins, Ricky Council the fourth and Tarquavion Smith. Both are just showing out. Now, it hasn't been in quality minutes, so you never know how they're going to do in the first or second quarter or when teams are really bearing down. However, they are showing some spark, playing together. They're having a lot of fun out there. And I think that it's worth giving them a shot. Depending on what we do at this trade deadline, if we don't pick up any young athletic guards, I think give those young athletic guards a chance and see what they can do. They both have shown ability to hit the three-pointer, and they're both quick and energetic, and we need more youth on the team anyway. So shout out to them. There's many more points to the game. You can make points in the comments and continue. We don't look good. Season is slipping away. We really want to try to hold on and get that 8th seed. But if we don't get some of these guys back like Melton, Batum, and Covington, but I really think the starters, Melton and Batum, are key guys, reasons why we're not doing well now. If we don't get those guys back soon, it's not gonna look good for us. Anyway, this is the 6 for Sixer podcast. I'm your host, Creek, and please like, share, comment, subscribe, invite your friends, come chat it up with us. If you're interested in being on the podcast, please hit us up. You can hit us up on the 6 for Sixers Facebook page, or you can email the 6for6ers@gmail.com. All right, I'm out, y'all. let's hope we get a win. I mean, we let's hope we get a win soon. Maybe we can play the song or I could sing the song to you, but we can't play the song if we don't win. Later. Peace. See you on next game. Actually, might be running a special 6 for 6ers podcast edition. See what they do at the trade deadline. Trade deadline is tomorrow by 3 p.m. Let's see if Daryl Morey can pull a rabbit out the hat. Later.